Right, guys. Now, I've not done this on screen before, so I'm just going to cut to the chase, being this is going to be one of the very first I'm going to be putting out on there. Now, I've followed quite a lot of views out there. I've got quite a lot of interest, got quite a lot of hobbies, quite a lot of things to show off. Now, with the scrap thing that's going on with your e-waste, I think it's a benefit to anybody that can spend the time and get fluent with earning a little extra income. Doesn't matter how much, it's just the extra ones, as many as you can get really. But yeah, so I'm interested in e-waste and a few other bits of scrap. But yeah, well, there was a time I didn't really know a lot apart from switching it on and using the device, and then things have changed though, because like it's not so easy getting money nowadays. Everybody wants it from your pocket. So you'll see my dog wander around here and there. His name's Snoop, as in Snoop Dogg. Stash, fully grown boy, one of the best behaved dogs I've ever brought up. Yeah, so you might see him walking around this little area here and there. Yeah, so I found this on the side of the road, and there's a few things, and it started off that I wanted to smelt a few things, just to be a bit creative. I've learned quite a lot from that, and I've learned a lot of what scrap really is. I mean, to most of us, this is just rubbish, but we throw away a lot of wealth. And it's all about, because we're individuals. I mean, hey, you're going to buy this TV screen and you're going to be thinking like, yeah, you know, I'm going to have my TV, I'm going to have my DVD player and my gaming and all of that going through the TV, and you think, oh yeah. Then it gets to the point that it gets broken, screen gets broken, or you just throw it out because you want a new one, and you get a new one, a better one. So, but in general, you just put that out for the bin man. And it's a shame. People should hold on to it, like I find I'm here in England, but you know, if you check it out on our brothers and sisters abroad, they keep everything, you know, they keep everything, and they barter and all that with each other, and they make money with each other, good cash flow. We should take note. That's British. We're a bit ignorant to a lot of things. Still, we live and learn, don't we? So yeah, this scrap. So I've taken it kind of like a hobby, to be a bit creative, and I've learned tremendous about bundles and bundles of stuff now. And you know, we waste too much, we all know we do. But for the odd person, you ain't going to think, oh, well, let's not throw it out, let's see what I can get out of it. Well, you ain't, are you? Because you ain't going to set yourself up with being a science lab where you can do your gold recovery and so on and so forth. But hey, there's ways of things, isn't there? You know, like, I'll take the board out of this, and anything else that I think I can put to some value, or even if I find there's something that I might come in handy later on. I try not to keep too much of items, but I try and get as much recycle as possible with stuff, so it all goes somewhere in the right direction. And like me, any old iron, I just let the old local scrap man take that. So everybody gets a little bit. Yeah, so as I say, I've not done this, and I'm learning to be a bit more with footage over the internet. I know it's another way of putting footage out there. I watch a lot, you know. In a way, this 10% rule thing, it's not just financials. The 10% is a rule, even in your own time, and some of the ways in which you might want to give back to your community and people. 10% rule still counts. It's not down to money. That's just part of some of the things you would know when you put yourself into these things. So anyway, I'm going to try and get this done as quick as I possible, because we don't like things to be boring. And another thing is editing. I've got to learn that for myself too. I've got a general idea. But yeah, I'll come across that pretty quick, I should imagine. Being all more important now with the way life is out there, and it's not getting any better, folks. It really isn't. We've all got our own different views about what's going on with this lockdowns and coronavirus. But I suggest not on a. I don't want to be unprofessional here. I don't want to give any suggestions that people may do. I find it's a natural thing wanting to give a suggestive way about things. But, yeah, there's a lot to be learning for all of us out there now, and the world has proper changed. So things like this, I should imagine. There's going to be a lot of people trying to get on this gravy boat as well, but the best thing to do, don't throw your items, strip them down, collect them up, and at one point you can collect them up, and someone like me, I'd probably give you some money and take it off your hands and do the rest of it, but you could condense it down for yourselves by doing what I'm doing here. Take your circuitry out, put it to one side, get a box, put it in, and just keep on doing that. There's various different things. I mean, we're all learning major amounts off of each other, and I think it's great. And hence why I'm going to be on YouTube and try and get up and running with all of that also. I watch some pretty inspirational people in their lives and with what they're doing. It's many a different walk, and life's too short. We're all too damned ignorant with each other. What's the future hold, eh? Still, as you can see, as I'm talking away to you, you don't have to be so careful either as well. I'd suggest to be careful around sharpy edges, like stuff you don't realise might cut your fingers. Have a pair of gloves is quite good. Looks like the footage going okay so far. Just check for what's loose. I mean, that's any old iron. If I was to be building anything on the creative side, I'm always looking out to see what a component could be used for. Can't move. Getting over inquisitive about a bit of plastic on the floor there. You're going to get wires. I mean, we've got switches here. Majority of it's presumably supposed to be silver contacts. I mean, they'll be very small, but if they are, because some of them are not, there are other metals that are the same, tough reacting But a lot of the e-waste is silver, and it's in quite a lot of stuff. Being the adaptable, good material that it is. So as you can see, I mean, like, this is quite a simple one though. It should be going quite quick. I'm talking a little bit. Instead of just getting on with it as well. But, and I find even the speakers, like, you take the speakers out as well, because at the end of the day, one, you could get the magnet out. You could probably have a good use for the magnet, but hey, you know, like, I've seen guys make the computer box designed for their living room and TV. So, I mean, items like this can be easily used. I mean, hey, you know, it's got a second use. I mean, look at that. That's just, it's like it's just come off of the line, you know, and the factory line. I would presume that's quite a good quality little speaker for how it looked. I probably wouldn't use it, but again, if you're collecting up all these small speakers, after a little while you'd find, like, you know, gosh, I'm throwing this away, I'm throwing this. You don't realise. You think, alright, you've got the plastic, that is a problem. Problem that can be solved, as we can find out for ourselves. But yeah, I mean, look, you've got silver tape. I mean, to be fair, you could put that in your recycle bin out for the dustbin. You're going to get that all day long with your own home products. As I say, the steel, you don't want to collect loads of steel, just put it out for your local scrap man. He'll be happy and glad and grateful for what you give him, you know. So yeah, it's a no-brainer sometimes. So, you know, and the way things are these days now, I mean, only so many people are going to be bothered to do some stuff. To me, I find it a little bit interesting, all this. Got plenty of ideas I'd love to be able to do, but again, you know, all this takes money, and I'd love to be putting that sort of money to the sort of things I'd like to be doing. But hey, it's all a progressional way of doing things anyway. But yeah, over a period of time, I've kind of got proper into all this, really, and I'm doing this still a bit slow. This ain't going to be the permanent spot. I need a decent little table and that. That's what I'm going to need to have. Good bit of lighting. Mind you, it doesn't seem to look that bad. So, we have one screen. Generally, I could just put this straight out for Mr. Scrapman, and he would probably just throw that in the back. That's acceptable. Scrap there. So, but these got lights in and tubes. I couldn't tell you everything, every item, but even as a light, I mean, it's a terrific. I mean, you could put them under your cabinet, couldn't you? You could do it like just have it set up so like just underneath the lip of the top of the drawer on the cabinet, so you could just have that lit up with like, I don't know, just find out how much the voltage is and all that you need to be putting through it. But as I say, there you go, you know. It probably wouldn't work. In theory and thought, you'd think, because I haven't done it. Being that household is 240, batteries, anything you want to put through that's taking direct current, so these are direct current, but you'd need the electrics to actually run the current right through that. So yeah, you got to know what you're doing with things like that. But you know, after a period of time, you collect them up. I'm sure there's somebody somewhere that knows what they're doing with that stuff and can just recycle it. Now the thing is, we've come accustomed to being such consumers that we really didn't know what we're doing when we're buying repetitively this stuff that we buy and what we decide to do with it. And we've been ignorant and lazy really, but not everybody can do it. But that's a nice sheet of steel really. But I ain't got use for it. So Mr. Scrappy will have that. Now the screens, where this one, as I see, it's got a nice bit of alley plate at the back here. I mean, that is really nice alley plate. It's got a lovely chrome look to it. And so I shall have to take that off. You never know what you can end up doing with a bit of alley plate. It's got many uses, the alley plate. And, I've got a remote control car somewhere, had it for years now, but if it ever come a cropper that I need to make a plate for one of the components that holds the wheel or something like that, you'd find things like this are very much something that you would think to keep really. But of course, if you just throwing your TV out, you don't know what you've got. You need the right pills. Right. Extremely small end, small tip. Right, do believe I've got that now. Actually, I could be running out. Might be just a bit of stainless. But it does set an example of what I've come across a lot of alley plate in the back of these screens anyhow. So it doesn't come as any surprise to it being aluminium. And it's quite an impressive metal too, it's got many use. That one. Yeah, it's not alley. It's stainless. Now here we have another board. I would say this is pure gold recovery. These boards and these strips are gold wire. So, you know, look like plastic and you think, oh, you know, gosh, you want to throw that. It's just, no, it's got gold wire bonding wires in there, and you'll find again that that's quite. You had that up a few times. They're very minute, but just do you want to throw it away? If you know about it, no, of course you don't. Why would you? But this is how they have us see buy many a item. Like our phones, we get, you know, they keep on updating, and then you end up getting other phones. But you know, how many items do we need? I mean, I go with the technology, like upgrading technology for that. For instance, I find that you could just have the phone back recycled, and you know, but from what I'm understanding, they're very difficult to recycle, but I'm gathering, smelting the whole item down and taking the purity metals out one at a time as you go along. Obviously you take out the most expensive or the most valuable one first. Yeah, I sort of feel that might be the best way that a material might be. Put that down. Say to me, I better check this out. Yeah, here we go. Definitely is. Now the screen, it's got that all the way connected to, I wouldn't know, should imagine again it's a thing where it probably would be more expense than it is to actually recycle a screen. Someone might scream at me for doing this, but just as far as you're getting bonding wise, you're not getting them any more than to the edge of the screen. And the involvement to recycle a screen, you'd have to have bare of them, an awful lot of them is what I'm saying. And as you can see, it's glass on the outside. So yeah, is what it is, my friend. There's probably, actually, makes you wonder if that's all gold wire bands in there. You'd want to get it, but something to look into. So even these is further inside. You have where the lights are to be, and this is out. It's clipping. It might snap and break because they're quite brittle. On here I can see a lot of gold teeth on this one in particular. Go. Bit bigger, a bit wider would do for a table. Yeah, as you can see there, gold teeth there. So you know, so when you people are throwing these items out left, right, and centre, they don't know. They don't know. We don't. It's not like we're told of these things. Don't want you to know, do they? Top them down to your local dustbin, council dustbin place. They'll take all of the electricals from you. Company will take that, so you're giving it away. This is why I say, like, example of other countries, they're not so silly about it. Yeah, I might have got that one next. No, I'll do everything. Right, we have these inside, yes, pieces of plastic. I always find stuff like that. It's like paper. Can use it all day long for all sorts of items. As you see with the screen, as I take it out, I could probably light the screen up. That's a nice bit of value there. As you can see along the edge here, that's where the lights are. You could use this as a light up screen for any particular sort of thing you want to do. You could put your like drawings on top, have them lit up, you know, all that sort of stuff there. So I mean, sometimes you don't realise what you're throwing away, like. So it is a question of what you do with everything. And a nice bit of plate like that, I'll probably keep that as it is. It's easily to store and keep quite a few of. So yeah. So basically, we've got the alley, we've got the gold circuit boards, you've got the power boards. You've got your signal and that, and your chip boards, and various wires. These would probably be silver. Then you've got your silver switches, your power connector, and your various thin wires. Another little board on and off, show the on and off on and all that, and then you've got your two speakers. Yeah, you've got your two speakers, and then your screws. Just go in with your any old metal. There we have it. Obviously, as I say, like for me, I take all this off. I know various things go for various stuff, and that's another day, another showing. But yeah, you get this when you take away what you can see when you mic it down. Like you're left with what the real value is there, and you can put that in a box, couldn't you? You could put that in a box and add another item. You could add all the circuitry items you could have in a box, you know, until such time you got enough of it, and or you could put it in individual boxes if you know what's what, you know, and then you can turn around to somebody like me or somebody else. There's a few of them out there, a few of us, that will give you some money for this stuff, you know, because we will go further with it. Now we're able to. So, and obviously we know how to get the value from that. But it's not, in this state, it is not, you know, worth major amounts of money. But it is something that, you know, check it. If you check it out of a lifetime, you might be throwing away a couple of gold rings even, you know, and you might not think, well, maybe not. Well, that's just as the gold. If you check out the silver, that's going to be a couple of rings, maybe more because it's used more in items. But then when you go for copper and brass and alley and all that, when you check it out, yeah, who knows, could be a few grand, couldn't it, in the midst of it all. And if you're sensible, you could just and if you've got the room and you've got the number, well, it's a no-brainer. So anyway, tester, I might put it out as a tester on the tube, but I'm going to see if I can edit it and see how it turned out and how it sounds. So we'll see. Right, bye for now.